duplicatable. It's been used. My teacher, he taught us this back in 1993, 1994, and he was able to create a business that actually made him $1.2 million a month in a company called Excel Telecommunications, which is the first company that I joined. We were very successful there. Now, this is the same training system. Lo and behold, years into the future, I got divorced and then I was single and then I got married, and my wife that we share kids with here right now, she and I got together in 2001. And when I met her, her coach, better yet, her leader, which was a gigantic leader in the industry, he was making $700 million a year. And he had the very same training system. And what was interesting is that this is something that was done in those times, in the 90s and the 80s, and it is a system that still works. So there's an old saying that says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And this is something that is not broke, and it works all the time. And it's an awesome, simple training. In today's time, people would call it like an orientation. And I got to tell you what that means. When somebody goes to a job and they receive the job and the person gets hired, then that person has to come the next day to have a really fast orientation so they can know what to do in their job. So the way that we've designed our training is very simple. You come on Wednesday to a presentation and you listen to the company's mission, vision, the company's products, and also the pay plan. And then, of course, you really pay attention during Wednesday as to what you would like to do, in your life, and then make a decision. So then Wednesday you sign up, and then you say to yourself, okay, I just signed up for this company, but what do I do next? How do I do it? Who do I talk to? That's exactly what our training is actually designed for. It's designed for the person that signed up that needs to then know exactly what to do next. And it's called, very simply, the 5-step training. And that's basically what we cover on Thursday. So you come see a presentation on Wednesday, and then you sign up, and then of course you come to the training on Thursday. And then we follow that pattern every single week. Every week we do presentation and training, presentation and training. And that's because we're doing it via Zoom. So we have to be cognizant of the time and really respect the time for everybody. I'm in California right now, and right here, it is exactly 5:18. Some of you are in the Midwest, some of you are back east. It might be 8 o'clock for you. So being respectful of that, we actually divide it into 2 days. So Wednesday is presentation, Thursday is training, and that's for English. We are right now establishing a training for Spanish, a 5-step, very similar to this one, to happen, I believe, also on Thursday. So we're about to get that rolling, and we will announce to everyone, what that would look like. So that way, people can invite folks to those weekly trainings as well. As you know, this is a commitment. I'm committed to you. I'm here for you. I'm your servant. I would like to do anything that's necessary and possible to help you advance in your business and help you make money and help you train all your people. That is my purpose. So we will actually make sure that when we take on the new endeavor of Spanish, we make sure that we start it, we do it, and we don't stop, because this is something that needs to continue. But for now, just for those new people that are on this call right now, just know that the training is definitely designed for you. Now, in this particular month, we've decided, actually ending the month of May and the beginning of the month of June, we decided to actually create something that would help some of the newest people that have joined the organization. So that way, those people that are so brand new can actually have an opportunity to truly grow as fast as possible by learning, not just the basics, but also information regarding the products, information regarding the compensation plan, and then information regarding, how to recruit and how to talk to others, and how to present your business to other people. Because those, when you begin, those are the three primary things that you want to learn. Okay. And on last week's training, we did the product. So we talked in very specific terms of all the products, and also what happens in the body and how the body works and how it reacts with the products that we're taking. What happens in your stomach when you take the products, which is actually really interesting. It's very cool. And then of course we had some fun with that, and we did that last week. So today we're going to cover the compensation plan. The compensation plan as far as how the company pays it, and then of course the rules, and of course the different conditions for you to get a check, and what you need to do to make sure you get a check. And then of course the week following, which is next week, we're going to cover the training on how to recruit and how to talk to others and things like that. So there is definitely a method to this madness, and it works. And then of course a couple of weeks ago we had a training in which we also talked about personal growth and development, and we gave a little bit of information regarding how do you motivate yourself, right? What do you do to actually get yourself up in the morning every day and make things happen? And I think that's where I'm going to start today. And I'm going to basically begin by saying that, to me, it's always super special to have, this conversation with everyone, because when I first got started, no one had this conversation with me immediately. Actually, it happened in about a month. And I felt so sad because I really wanted more information. And when I first got started, it took me about maybe 2 to 3 weeks for me to really understand that I was supposed to be in training, so that way I can really get what's going on. You see, when I first saw this business, I met Mr. Al Thomas, who was the gentleman that was in charge of the entire team. He came from San Jose, California. He drove like 6 or 7 hours just to be with us. And I saw him briefly, and I said to him, I want to do what you do. I want to learn what you know, and I want to make the money that you make. That is exactly what I said to him. I was probably about 27, 28 years old, and I was so surprised, but I fell in love really quickly with the industry. And he said, okay, then you're going to have to learn this. You got to come to training. But then he left, and I didn't really see him anymore. And I remember that it took me about 2 to 3 weeks to get it, and said to myself, you know what? I need to train because I really want to do this. I really want to make what this guy makes. And at that time, Mr. Al Thomas was only making about $35,000 a month, which to me back in 1994 was a lot of money. And lo and behold, 3 years later, or 2.5 years later, he's making $1.2 million a month. I mean, that was a whole lot more. But it is the training that got him there, and it is this education that we offer, which is free, that gets people to understand, oh, okay, I get it. I know what this is about, right? And that's the part, the aha moment, right, that really gets you. So I want to start to record this right here.
Recording in progress.
So that's the aha moment when you go to training and then you listen to it, and then one day after you train so much, it just all comes together, and you say to yourself, aha, I get it. Now I know what I'm supposed to do. So my job is to help you cut that curve, right, and get to it right away. Because some people get it in a month, some people get it in 2 months, some people get it in 6 months, some people don't get it, and then they quit. And then when they quit, another company comes to them and they join another company. And then they say to that new company, "Oh yeah, I joined these things and they don't work. I joined some company before and it doesn't work. People don't make money." Well, the thing is, that person didn't get trained properly. Or then they quit that company and go to another company and say, you know what, I tried these things already. I tried two and they don't work. No, not really. You just did not train properly. So my job, I consider, is to help you cut that curve and get to it right away. And in this company that you just signed up in this company, you will do, the work, and you will do the training, and you will do the actions that are required to help you make you money. Because my job is to help you make money. You see, I want to make money already, no matter what. And the reason for that is because I work every single day and I work very fast. The only difference between you and me is that while you were thinking about on Wednesday or Thursday calling one or two people, I already called 50 or 100 and had 25 meetings and probably three major conversations with top leaders in my organization. That's the only difference. It's just the number of people that I'm able to connect with. Okay. And that basically should tell you a lot, because some people by the time Wednesday rolls around, they're making a phone call to see if they can invite somebody to come into the Zoom meeting at 8 o'clock at night, or here in California at 5 o'clock at night. And that's okay. You're just getting started. That's not a problem. But the only difference between you and some people that have and are making more money, it's just that they're making more phone calls. That's all. That is all. There is nothing special about this. And while I'm on that subject, I want to let you know that this is one of the only industries that I know that I love so much, in which you don't have to have a higher education, you don't have to have gone to college, you don't even have to have graduated from high school. You don't need to speak English. You could speak whatever language you speak, it doesn't matter. You can still do this business. You don't have to have business knowledge, business education. You could be a housewife with three or four kids and, haven't done anything, and you can still be successful in this business. That is why I love network marketing. You could be a gentleman that, basically is making ends meet and has a job for his family and would like to take this on as a side business. And doing that, it's going to actually, make you extra money. That's great, and you don't have very much experience. This is for you. That's why I love this business. My mom actually taught us this business. My mom came to this country back in 1970, 71. She was actually here since 68, but then my father passed away in 1970. And my mom had to raise 10 kids by herself. So she brought us here to United States. We were on her way here anyway. So, she finished what he started. When we got here, she never remarried. And then she raised 10 kids. I'm the last of 10. And then I remember the job that she had. She was a seamstress. She would sew, and she was sewing stuffed animals for Disneyland and Magic Mountain. These are two theme parks. And she only made $110 a week back in 1971. And a lot of people today, they make minimum a whole lot more than that, but that was the minimum back then. And then my mom, got a job where she worked with a friend in a company called Stanley. And then Stanley sold these products that were soap products. And then they would go door to door and talk to people. You talk about today, you have to make a phone call. In 1971, people were doing this business door to door. Hello, how are you? Can I come in? I'm your neighbor. Or hello, I'm here from such and such company. I'd like to explain to you how my products were. It's a totally different business, but that's what happened back in 1970, 1971. Today, you have the internet, you have the telephone, you have Zoom. I mean, there's so many wonderful, beautiful things that we have today, which I'm sure we'll make fun of in the future. But my mom went door to door, and then after a year and a half or 2 years of working with Stanley, she got invited to another company called Shackley, and she worked on that company selling nutritional products in Shackley for a long time. Thank God somebody introduced her to this, because that's how she helped make ends meet. And that's how she raised 10 kids. These are 10 little mouths she had to feed. She never remarried. And then, of course, later on, years later, she left that one. I was already like maybe 8 or 9, and she got involved in a company called Princess House. And then I started helping her, going to the meetings because she didn't want to leave me home alone. I would help her with the boxes, and I would help her write some of the applications. And it was just fun. I was a little kid. But the great thing about it is that I remember those days. And that's why I am telling you today, this is for you. If this was for my mom who didn't speak any English, this is for you. If this was for my mom, who basically, started, in a brand new country with 10 kids and no money, this is for you. If this was for my mom, who only went to the second or third grade because her little sister died, and then her mom died, and then 2 years later, my grandfather died. So my mother was raised by my aunt, or
Las elecciones, mandando el email
by her aunt. So, the wonderful thing about my mom is that no education, and she did very well. And if this was for her, this is for you. So, like about 3 weeks ago, we talked about personal growth and development, and then what motivates people. And we talked about, how to define a why, right? And this is a perfect moment to speak about this because that's exactly what my mom did. She actually thought about her why every day. Her why were the 10 little kids that she had to feed,
a
the 10 kids that were in the house that she needed to actually help, raise, right? So this is what it says up here, define your why. My why is very simple. My why is also my kids, and I want to make sure that my kids have everything that they need and that they move and advance forward in life and do what they have to do after they finish college and be productive citizens in this country. That's my why, and making sure that they're okay, my family, my wife, making sure that everybody's fine. And then you are all a part of my why. I would like to have a lot of success stories in this team. So thinking about this for a minute, maybe, as your thoughts are going through, you can probably actually think about what would your why be. Okay. And if you want to, I would like to ask everybody to please get a piece of paper and a pencil, and write down really quickly my why. What is your why? Why would you be doing this? What is it that you would like to accomplish? What drives you? What motivates you? What is it that will get you up every morning and that will have you do this every day and basically work on becoming successful in this business, but also doing some personal growth and personal motivation for yourself so that you can become that person that you've always wanted to become. So write that down. What would motivate you? For some people, it would be their kids. For some people, it would be maybe because they want to buy a new house. For some people, it would be, I want to do this business because I want to buy a brand new car. For some people, it would be, I would like to take a long vacation. For others would be, I would like to have the security that I don't have right now, right? And for others, it could be, I would like the time. Time is very precious. A lot of people don't have it. That's the one thing that many people don't have is time because their time is completely given up to a job and they would like to have extra time to be free and do some things that they want to do. So whatever that why may be for you, define it, write it down, and then have that why be your gasoline because you're going to be driving this vehicle every day. You want to be pushed by something that gets you going every single day. I could imagine what some of the whys would be on some of the people that I know on this call. A lot of us are responsible for many people. That could also be a why. A why can also be, I want to help as many people as possible in my communities to actually be healthier and have better health and better wellness and also help a lot of people make some extra money. That could also be a very powerful why. So write that down. Write that down. That would be very important. Now, step number one in our agenda here is basically to actually do what's called the registration. So we're going to cover the 5 steps right now. Okay. At the end, we're going to go and talk about how to get paid, and that's we're going to break down the compensation plan. But right now, let me get to this right away. Step number one is register. Now, how do you register? Very simple. To register in this company, you got to actually purchase what's called a 29.90 membership. Okay. Now, um, I want you all to know that we have had a lot of really cool discussions with the owner of the company. His name is Mr. Alex Reynoso. My wife and I have had several conversations with him regarding, the packages that we're buying, and we were actually coming up with an incentive, something that can help people so that they can be incentivized to join the business. one of the things that the company does is once in a while, they come up with a code in which helps a lot of people with the membership, and it comes out to $2.22, and it's 222. And the reason why they do that is because they actually started February 22 of 2022. So that's 2/22/22. So that's why we have to pay $2.22. It's just for no other reason. They're funny like that. But when we talked to them, we said, hey, what if we were to do something and incentivize the people? And they wanted ideas from all of us. So my wife and I spoke to Mr. Alex and we said, hey, wouldn't it be a good idea if somebody bought the large pack, which is the pack that most of the people buy anyway? It's the elite pack. What if those people can be incentivized for buying that pack? Because there was other incentives before and they already expired, and that we don't have them anymore. But we said, what if we add something to that pack? And what if we added, let's give people five free memberships to everyone. And then Mr. Alex said, how about 10? I said, okay, sure. 10 sounds very good. So I want to cover this really fast just to let you guys know it happened. It actually happened. They already announced it yesterday and they already put it on paper. So as of yesterday or the day before, a brand new offer was made, or a brand new, if you guys can see this. Benny, are you there? Benny? Coach Marie, are you there?
Yes,
Can you see this?
yes, we can.
Okay, great. So a brand new
It's the
announcement.
gratis in Creole.
Gratis in Creole. Yes, yes, yes. So I was so happy and excited that they did it, but they added more benefits to this pack, the Elite Pack. So on the Elite Pack, and this just came out, by the way, someone sent this to me this morning. On the Elite Pack for the USA, Canada, and Europe, on the Elite Pack, if somebody buys the Elite Pack, they're going to get 10 codes, 10 codes instead of five for free membership. So you come into the business, you sign up with the large pack, which is the elite pack, and then a benefit that they just created is that you will get 10 codes for 10 people that you can select that you want to be in the business that will actually have 10 free codes so they don't have to pay the $29.99. So that was actually pretty special. But they also came up with this. They're going to give away 10 codes so that the people that you're selling your products to as well can have a 25% off coupon for any purchases that people would do in your back office. Okay. And by the way, this is part of the compensation plan training because this is going to be part of your compensation plan moving forward. Okay. In other countries of the world, the benefit of having a 1% for all the founders is still open. So Haiti will have 1% founders. Dominican Republic will have the 1% founders. Colombia and Ecuador, El Salvador will have the 1% founders. All the new countries, and especially Africa, will be part of the 1% founders if they buy that pack. We already had a lot of founders in the United States, and that already expired, but unfortunately, for other countries, that's just getting started. So that's another benefit for becoming an Elite Pack holder. And of course, you have the 10 free membership codes for 10 people that you select. And of course, the 10 free 25% off coupons. So if somebody doesn't want to buy a pack, they just want to be your client, you can send them to your store and then give them this coupon code of 25% off. So when they're buying something from you, you can say, hey, listen, if you buy this product from me, I'm gonna give you a code and don't waste it, please. But that code gives you access to an additional 25% off coupon. So when you're buying product from me, even though you're not joining this business, you can get it for 25% off. And then you can tell the person, but how would you like 50% off? And then if people really like the product, you can tell them, buy it right now for 25% off. It's okay that you don't want to actually get a membership, but how would you like it at 50% off? try the product and let me know if you like it. When you come back, before you buy it again, I will show you how you can get it at 50% off. And basically, now you got a client for life because that person really likes the product. And if you give them a 50% discount instead of a 25% discount, they're going to really buy it every month. So all they have to do to get a 50% discount is basically get a membership. But if you're an elite pack holder, you might have the 10 codes. So now you can tell that same person, okay, so you're ready to become a member. Good. Well, you know what? You're my family member, or I really like you, or you know what? I know you're going to do well in this business. Let me give you a free code so that you can avoid paying the 29.95, 29.90, but you have to purchase a pack. So, they can buy like the 170, the 300, or the 600, whatever pack they would like. And if they're really smart, right, and they really want to do the business, they would actually buy the Elite Pack too, because then now that person will have access to 10 free codes for new memberships and ten discount codes for any new clients that they might actually have. And then those people then would probably want to come into the business. If they talk to some other people, then those people would come into the business. And if they talk to other people, then those people will come into the business. And of course, all those people have the same opportunity of getting 10 free codes so they can actually offer it to other new people. And I think this is actually a very, very brilliant idea. And I don't mind saying it, but my wife and I had that conversation with Mr. Alex, and here it is. It's right in front of us. So you can tell that I'm smiling. I am very happy that they listened. But anyway, so we start right there. We start with the 10 free codes. That's basically something that just came up, and you could avoid paying the 29.90, and of course, when you pay the 29.90, when you pay the membership is actually for you to actually get access to high quality products, some very positive training. This training is free. Other company training is free. You can improve your health and wellness and well-being by having some of the best products in the nation right now, as well as getting all the products at a 50% discount because you buy them at less price when you have the 29.99 membership. And then, of course, you also get to participate in a fantastic rewards program. This rewards program is, second to none. It's a very, very powerful pay plan. All we have to do is just get into action. And we're going to talk about that right now in a little bit too. We're going to talk about what are the things that we get to do during the work that we do within the pay plan. And then also we actually have a virtual store. And you get this virtual store for free when you actually join for 29.90. So you get a tremendous pay plan and you get a virtual store. The virtual store has you advertise, to whoever you want, but also offer it through a flyer or offer it through an ad or offer it just by word of mouth. Or you can send out text. You can send out WhatsApp. You can send out a signal, a text, whatever you want to many people and say, go into my business, go into my virtual store, and please buy any one of my products. And if somebody says, well, what do the products do? Of course, that's what last week was for, the training on the products. And then you could explain to them, what the products are for, if you learn a little bit about what the products are for. Now, if you have any questions about what the products are for, you can always ask the AI robot and get quick information. But if you're offering somebody products, right, and they're asking you, what should I buy? The very first question you need to ask the person, and you want to write this down, what condition are you dealing with? Are you dealing with any illness right now? Is there a condition that you're taking any medication for? And these are very like around the corner questions. You don't want to be direct and say, do you have this or do you have that? You want to just say and write it down, what conditions are you dealing with? Are you dealing with any medical illness? Are you taking any medication for something right now? If you ask the question like that, it's an option if the person wants to answer you or not. And if they do, then you will get right away the information you're looking for. Because that person could say, I have a condition that I'm dealing with, and it's fibromyalgia, or I have diabetes. you know what, I'm actually dealing with, a tumor right now, and, it's not cancerous, but I'm trying to work on that. Or I'm dealing with, gout, or I'm dealing with, and whatever they're dealing with, they'll share it with you if they trust you enough, of course. And if the question comes in, non-direct, I'm pretty sure the people would probably share with you. And then, of course, you can offer them that information as to what would be good for them. Always remember, the very first thing everybody needs to do is detox. So we're talking about the tea, the Vitarin for the kidney, the Organics for the liver, and the balance for the pancreas. So the detox tea and those three are what everybody should start with. And then if they're dealing with an immune system issue, of course, the curcumax, with the glutathione, and they have a more advanced glutathione. We're going to be training on that very soon. But that would be for someone who has a immune system issue, things like that. So, if that person says, okay, well, how do I do this? Well, go into my virtual store. I'm going to give you a coupon so you can actually get 25% discount and try those products. But you want to say to them, if you buy a pack, you're probably going to get a better offer, and you're going to get more product for the money if you buy a pack. And that person could say, you know what? Yeah, I'll do that. When you go to my virtual store, just select the membership first. It costs $29. And that person might say, well, I don't want to pay $29 for a membership. Okay, don't worry. I'm going to give you a coupon code. And what you do is put the code in there, and it'll give you that discount of $29, and the membership will be for free. All you have to do is go in there and buy a pack, because that pack will have those three products plus what you're looking for your condition. And that person feels good because they got a discount. Or maybe you might just give them a discount for the products and not so much for the membership if you want them as a client. So, that can all be worked out. So it gives you access to a beautiful virtual store when you pay the $29.99. And I got to tell you, that's an expensive thing to make. If you hire a computer programmer to make you some kind of a computer program to sell your products, that's costly. It costs a lot of money. But the company gives it to you for $29.99. And you also get your own back office. You get an office location where you can go in and check your entire business. You have about 25 different reports, and each report is geared to actually notify you and inform you exactly of how your business is doing, who came into your business, what are their names, what's their last name, what is their email, where do they live, what country are they in, what did they buy, how much did they purchase? What point system did they actually purchase for? How much money are you going to make from that sale? I mean, this is a complete back office. It's a complete accounting. It gives you all your payments. It pays you, and it also sends you to a virtual payment system called Vital Pay, which you get to download and then put into your bank account all the money that you make from this company. So then it also gives you a report at the end of the year, which how much money you made. So it does your accounting for you. You get all of this for $29.99. Believe me, this is not a joke, and this is not a small thing. The $29.99 is actually a very low price for everything that you get to run your own business, and you can run it from home. You can run it from your car. Sometimes I'm doing Zooms in my car, and I'm working. I'm at the gym. I'm actually on the treadmill, and I'm talking to people. I'm able to do this because I have a back office, and I have a virtual store, and everything is online, and the company created all of that for us, and I get it for $29.99 a year, right? So in the US, that is an annual membership, one time only. Many of us already paid it just recently because we've been here more than 1 year. And $29 is not too bad to pay if you're making thousands of dollars a week. So it's a great deal. Now, that's how you register. So as I said earlier, you want to register. In this case, step number one is register. Step number one, you also have to activate. So you want to register, activate, and of course, you also want to qualify your position. So the way that you activate is very simple. Okay, you want to activate your position with an auto ship. And what that means is this company doesn't call it an auto ship. It calls it a subscription. So you want to subscribe the following month to the products that you like the most or that you would like to continue buying every month. Now, there is a minimum. The minimum is 50 points. So that you understand the point system, it's kind of simple to explain. The point system basically says we need to buy every month a minimum of 50 points, a maximum of 100. You can buy as much as you want. You can buy 200, 300, 400, whatever you want to buy every month. That's okay. But the requirement of the company is a minimum of 50 points and a maximum of 100, right? And when you actually do that, you're setting yourself up to make money in the company, okay? You get to choose your own products whenever you do your activation of your monthly purchase. You get to choose the date that you want to purchase it at. You can tell it in the computer, I joined on the 15th, but I want to buy my products every day on the 1st, something like that. You get to also activate the benefits in your business when you actually create, that monthly purchase so that the computer system does it automatically. When you add your ATM card or your credit card to that purchase, the computer will automatically buy it for you every month on that date. That is the best way of doing this. And I'm going to tell you why. You don't want to forget that you did not do that purchase. Now, yesterday was the last day of the month. In other words, the month in the company is from the 1st to the 30th or the 31st every month. But every month, the company gives us an additional 2 or 3 days. So yesterday was the 3rd, I believe, and yesterday is the day that the month ended. So, since the month ended yesterday, that's the cutoff, right? So some people called us yesterday and said, I have a problem. You know what? I don't want to bother you with this, but I forgot to make my purchase at the end of the month or last month, the month of May. And I don't know if I'm going to qualify for my check because you have to make your minimum purchase of 50, right? Minimum, or you got to have a maximum of 100 every month, either one that you choose. You got to have that every month so that you qualify for all of your bonuses and all your checks. And if you don't make your monthly purchase, you potentially could lose that ability to collect your money because you got to be active and qualified in the system. So the way that you activate your position is basically by making that purchase. So we got these calls yesterday of two people. I got two. My wife got another one too. So we got 3 calls from people that said, "Hey, I didn't make my purchase." So then we helped them do it, but we also gave them a little bit of training, right? And we told them, listen, you don't ever want to miss this because you might not have done something this month, but if you brought five, because one lady brought 5 people and those people are really good and they got to work. The other lady has a huge team already. She's got like 35 in her team and she's only been with us for like 2 months. And all those people are working and they're all buying. So we said to them, you might not have done something this week or last week because you're too busy with your job. But the people that you brought are working. And if they're working, you need to make sure that you're active with your minimum purchase or your 100 every month, 100 points, because when they work and they bring others and those people are making sales and they're purchasing product, you are qualified to get paid. But you don't want to stop your check by being inactive because if you didn't make your purchase, you would be inactive. But if you did make your purchase, you just activated your position. And they said, "Oh my God, how can we avoid that?" I said, "Very simple. Just go into your back office, go to the shop area, and then just look for the section that says add a subscription. So you just go in there and you subscribe. You subscribe to your monthly auto ship. You subscribe to your monthly purchase. And then you tell the computer what you want to buy every month. You tell the computer, I want to buy this, this, and then it tells you how many points you have. Hopefully it's 100 because that's the maximum required. And then now you're all set. You give it your credit card, you put your name, address, phone number, you click enter and you're done. Now, on this date is if you did it today, the computer will ask you, do you want me to charge you right now and also subscribe from now on? And then you click yes. So then the computer charges you for right now because it covers the month of June. And then every month after that, the computer is automatically going to go ahead and charge. You just have to say subscribe from now on, but charge me also right now. And then it'll charge you in July, August, September, October, November. You don't have to even worry because you know the products that you like are being purchased every month. Within the products that I like are my coffee, my collagen, right? My nitro, I love my nitro. Just with those three alone, it's over 100 points. And believe me, I love those products. And they're actually the ones that I use all the time. You always see me drinking collagen on this call, and you always see me drinking coffee on this call. So you know that I'm ordering those every month. So that's my purchase, guys. I got my 100 points done right there. And I think I have a couple more things that I order as well, but it's automatic. Every month, the computer does it for me. I don't have to worry about it. So if I bring a lot of really quality people into my organization and they're working and they're building, guess what? I'm never going to stop my check because my purchase is always set up and it keeps me active every single month. So that is how you activate, your back office. That's how you activate your business, right? So when you activate, you get to choose your product, you choose the date of the monthly purchase. You want to make sure you do it on an automatic basis with a subscription, and then of course, you also get, your monthly products and you get opened up to collect your loyalty bonus. Every month that your purchase happens, the company pays you a loyalty bonus. And you'll see that right now in the compensation plan training that I'm about to do really fast. There's a loyalty bonus in which you get paid in discounts. So for future purchases, you can get, a lot of points in free in discounts to purchase future product. And it's actually a really cool thing. I think my loyalty bonus amount right now, it's up to $920. I mean, I collect them. I don't charge it every month. I actually let it collect. Your loyalty bonus accumulate. If you don't touch them every month, they just grow and grow and grow. So, that's actually a really good thing. Uh, so that's what happens when you make your monthly purchase. And if it's activated through a subscription and it happens every month automatically for you, you'll be fine. Then you also accumulate volume, right, on your right and on your left of your binary. So the binary basically is the two teams that we get to create. We have a team on the right and we have a team on the left. And both of those teams are the ones that we create. We put one person on the left, we put one person on the right. Then those two people that we put, they create a team on the left and a team on the right. Then those people that they create a team on the left and a team on the right. So everybody creates two teams. That's called the binary. So the binary begins to then accumulate volume on both sides. And when that happens, every single week, we get paid off that volume. That check also comes out. But that gets accumulated only if you have your back office, or better yet, your business activated with a purchase. So that's why it's so important to have your purchase, on automatic, because you will never skip a beat. And then, of course, it's going to enable your commission and bonuses. Every week we get paid, and every month also we get paid on the residual. And of course, we get the car bonus. So you will enable all those bonuses and payments when you're active. That means that you paid your $50 in purchase that you did, or your 100 points you purchased every single month. So that's why it is so important. When you look at your back office and you open it up, you get to see the word active. So it says that you're an active member of the company. If it's red, like you see right here, it says inactive and it's red. Guys, what does red mean? Red means look out, stop, and do something about it. You got to become active right now. So it's important that you see it green and it says active. Okay, it's got to be active, because then you know that you're not going to lose any money in the company. So that's basically how you actually activate your back office. You go into it and you get a subscription. Now, part of step number one, because remember it's a 5-step program, right, is also to qualify. Okay, and how do you qualify? Very simple. You qualify by bringing your first two people. And I always show this slide right here because this slide gives you an idea, okay, of the two, which is right here on the left. It says binary and there's two. When you come into the business, the first thing you do is you begin to populate, the system below you, and you put one on the left and one on the right. When you have those two, you just qualified your position. Okay, that means that you're now qualified to make a check. And of course, you're active also because you did your purchase. So two things have to happen. You have to activate every month with your monthly purchase, and every month you got to have at least one person on the left and one person on the right, at the very least. And those persons that you have, they must also be active, meaning to say they have to have a recent purchase in that month. So if those people that you have are inactive, then you got to have a third, right? Or if that one's inactive, then you got to have a fourth. So what I always tell everybody is protect yourself, because when you actually are in this business and you have one person on the left and one person on the right, you are active and you're qualified because you have two. But let's say this person on the left did not make a purchase. So you only have one. Are you qualified? The answer is no, because you only have one person active. You got to get another one on the opposite side to be active. So I always tell people, bring more than one, on each side, bring two or three. I teach everybody to get 10, okay? But I'm saying for those people that do the minimum, bring two or three on each side, because let's say you have two on the left and you have two on the right, okay? These two on the right, they purchase every month with an automatic shipment, so they're active, no problem. These two on the left, are buying it themselves. This first one here went on vacation, okay? And that person is going to be gone for about 2 weeks. You don't want to bother somebody during vacation. The next one below this person that you brought is not on vacation, but they're going through some hard times and they didn't make their purchase yet. So although you have two that are active on the right and these two on the left are not active because they did not make a purchase, you're technically not qualified because you have two, but they're only on one side. So I always tell everybody, make sure you have two or three on each side. That way you never have a problem with you being qualified, because you need to qualify every month with at least one person on the left that is active and one person on the right that is active. And you would be amazed and surprised if I tell you how many times I've talked to some people and they said, well, you know what? I only had one and one on each side. And one of these people on this side, they had an emergency in the family, so they haven't made a purchase. But my money is stuck. I can't get the check because I don't have an active person. What do I do? And then what do I tell them? Just sign somebody else up. Go sign up a family member. Go sign anybody you can for $50 or 50 points and put them on that side. And then they do, and all of a sudden it says active, and all of a sudden they get a check. It's that quick. But why would you want to go through all that if you can actually just make sure you have at least two or three on each side, and then just keep building your team, as hard and as fast as possible. But anyway, that's how you qualify. You qualify by having one on the left and one on the right as an active individual. But, eventually I always teach everybody, you want to have at least 10 personals. You could start with two, but then you can get a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, a seventh, an eighth, a ninth, or a 10th person. And you can put half on the right, half on the left, or whatever. It doesn't matter. It all depends on how you're building your business. But the reality is, the minimum requirement in the company so that you can be qualified is two. That's the minimum. Now, the maximum requirement for the company to actually grow in the company and then be in the biggest position of the company, the maximum requirement is 10. So if somebody is the position of like black diamond, which is the very top position, those people must have had 10 personal recruits in the time they've been with the company and that are active, and now they qualify as a black diamond. I mean, that's like the top position. Actually, the top one now is called crown diamond. Anyway, to get there, you should have 10 personals. So guess what, guys? I always teach all my people, don't get two, get 10. That way you're qualified for the very last position from the very beginning. And by the way, don't buy 50 points, buy 100. So that way you're also qualified for the very last position. I'm going to teach you guys about that right now as well. But anyway, that's how you qualify. So we covered step number one, which is basically register, activate, and qualify. And if you're doing this, right, and you're always active every month and you're qualified every month, you'll never skip a beat. You'll always get a check and you're always going to continuously grow. All right. And then the registration, you already know that. The very first month that you register, you pay your 29.99 and you buy your pack. Of course, that purchase of the pack, your first month, you're active and qualified on the first month. So do not worry about the first month. If you buy a pack, you're active and qualified. If you just buy product and and it's over 50 points, you're just active. You're not qualified yet. But when you buy a pack, you're active and qualified the very first month. All right, step number two. Step number two is to be a product of the product. And that is a lot to be said. Step number two is one of the coolest steps the company has because you want to actually do three things in step number two. Being a product of the product means you got to use the product. You got to know the product, and then you have to share the product. You know, we do this already. I'm not teaching you anything that you don't already do. We already do this, okay? And some of us do it every single day with a bunch of other things. I'm going to give you some examples. Number one, how many of you have actually, bought, for instance, a really good, um, a really good product that you use in your kitchen, right? Like, basically like like a really good pots and pans, right? And they're every time you make eggs, they're the ones that make really perfect eggs, right? And then you talk to your cousin, you talk to your neighbor, you talk to your friends, and you talk about cooking, and you say, hey, you know what? I have these pots and pans that I bought, and they're really, really good. You don't have to put much oil in them. You make an egg, and it makes them perfectly, blah, blah, blah. And that person says, oh, really? What's it called? And then you give it the name, and then you say, yeah, you got to buy it at this place, and blah, blah, blah. And then the person says, I want to check it out. So then that person goes and buys it. And now they have the same pots and pans that you do because they like the story about your eggs. You see what I mean? You already do this. You already do this. I'm going to take it a step further. How many of you have actually invited someone to go watch a movie and said, listen, you got to go check out this movie, man. It's really good. You know what? And this movie is about this, and that. And you know what? It's funny and you're going to laugh. And that person says, I'm going to go check it out. And then they end up going to the movies on Saturday and they go see it because you told them to. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if you guys remember this movie, but everybody saw this movie in the world. And I'm not kidding you. In the world, everybody saw this movie. But this movie did not do one commercial on TV. Not one. Not one commercial on the print media or anywhere. They just actually put it out there. That movie was so good, everybody saw it all over the world. As a matter of fact, people are still watching it today. Okay? That movie is called The Titanic. So if I was to ask you guys right now, if you were in a room with me, like a room in a hotel, and I could say, raise your hand, how many of you saw the Titanic? I'm pretty sure every one of you would raise the hand because every one of you saw the Titanic, and some of you are probably going to see it tonight because I said it. That movie was so famous, everybody saw the Titanic, okay? And the funny part about it is they didn't pay for one commercial. So here's my question to you. If you referred the movie The Titanic to somebody, did the people that made the movie send you any money for inviting that person there? The answer is no. Okay. We already do this. We're already, referring people to use something. I'm going to give you a last one. How many of you refer a restaurant that you really, really like? Probably most of you. And you say, you know what? There is this Haitian restaurant, man. It's in Fort Lauderdale. It's so good. The food is the best. It tastes really great, man. You got to go check it out. Or if you're up there in Connecticut, man, there's this Ghanese restaurant. People from Ghana have this restaurant up there that's so good. You got to go try that, man. It's like the food back home in Ghana. You got to go eat at that restaurant. And guess what? People go and they check it out. But the question is this, how much money did the owner of that restaurant send you for sending them the client? The answer is none, nothing. Because you already do this. You already refer people. You already send people places. And, and I can go on and on about how many things we refer. And that's basically what our step number two is. Except this time, you're going to make money. This time you tell somebody, listen, I used this product, I got it in the mail, and I started trying it, and oh my God, it tastes so good. The coffee is amazing. I have a coffee that I'm actually drinking right now. It's called Love Cafe. It gives you a lot of vital energy. It makes you feel really good. And guess what? It also helps, the insides of your stomach. It also helps your reproductive system, your reproductive organs, and it helps you regenerate from the inside out. You got to try this coffee. It is the best tasting one ever. And that person says, "Yeah, I want to try it." Sure. Okay. You know what? Do you know how I can get it? Is there a website for it? That's the first thing people ask you nowadays. Is there a website for it? What are you going to say? Of course. Yes. You know what? Go to my website. I actually am a representative of the company and I have my own web portal. I have my own virtual store. Go to www so and so, and you know what? You purchase from me. It is so good. So now you will get paid every time you refer your coffee. Now you will get paid every time you refer your collagen. Now you will get paid every time you refer any of the capsules that we have or the detox tea, which helps people lose weight. I mean, you can refer so many things. The weight loss, you can refer to people increasing their immune system, helping them with brain health, helping them with immune system issues, helping them with vein health, with the heart, with the kidney, with the pancreas, any issues with whatever thing they may be dealing with, you can refer them now to your virtual store and they can then go and buy it. Now, they might ask you some questions, right? They're going to ask you, what does it do and how does it work? And, who makes it and things like that. Well, guess what? That's where the second part comes from. Know it. That stands for know your product. What basically what basically that means is that you need to get to know a little bit about what it is that you're offering, right? So, this is your business. This is your own home-based business. This is something that you get to do. So in the beginning, you want to spend some time learning about your product. You want to spend some time learning about what it does and of course, what's in it. And of course, you want to actually take the product and read the back of it, read the label, read the ingredients, read the content, read the warnings, read the indication, when to take it. That's enough. I mean, just know it. And then when somebody asks you, then just tell them about it. But I always tell people, don't become a technical expert. Don't become a technical expert. Become a storyteller. Because when you tell a story, it sticks far more than you telling somebody the facts. There's an old saying that says, and I want you to write this down, facts tell, stories sell. And that's the truth. Facts always tell. They tell you everything about what you're talking about. If you're talking about the product, the facts will tell you what you need to know. But the stories will sell that product. You got to start off like, you know what? Let me tell you the story. There's a lady that I know. She took this product, right? And it's actually called Love Cafe. And this lady has been dealing with an issue, with her ovaries. And, she's been actually with problems for about 3 months. Didn't have a normal menstrual cycle, didn't get her period. And, her and her husband thought that they were going to have a baby. And obviously that was not true. She wasn't pregnant, but every time they went to the doctor, they said no baby. And for 3 months, imagine, and let's say you're a woman, you're talking to a woman. For 3 months, this lady didn't have her period. That's a very worrisome thing. All of a sudden, she drinks this product called the Love Cafe, and guess what? That's the one that actually helped her have her menstrual cycle, and it happened within a couple of days. And she said it was quick. It was only for 3 to 4 days. And of course, it was no pain. There was no stomach pain. There was no cramps. It was so fast. That's a story. Do you see what I'm talking about? So when you know the product, you need to actually look at the ingredients and see the back and know so that you can know it. because you want to know it. This is your business. Guys, I'm going to repeat that. This is your business, yours. Like you own this now, your business. You have a business. It's called Vital Health, and you're a representative of it. And then you get to know what's in it. But the stories, those are the ones that are going to be selling your product all the time. So please tell your stories and then share it with them. Listen, I want to give you some here. Let me put some here. There's some hot water. Try this coffee. How do you like your coffee, with cream or sugar or just cream? It's up to you, because anybody can add whatever they want to their product. We're not going to shame anyone if they take sugar. We're not going to shame anyone if they take creamer, because we already have more information and knowledge about nutrition, and we already know what things we're not supposed to do. But those people that are out there that are already still taking creamer and sugar and the regular one, we're not going to shame them. It's kind of like the movie The Matrix. They're still hooked up to the machine. They still think it's okay to, take a lot of sugar. But in time, when you teach them, they will learn more information about some things they need to stop and some things they need to do less of, because some things are just not good for you. So don't try to be that person that right away tells them, don't drink sugar, don't do this. No, 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 don't say nothing. Just say, how do you like your coffee? With a little cream and sugar? Yes, I do. Okay, good. Have them try it. If they like it, they're going to love it. They're going to say to you, how do I get it? Well, go to my virtual store, or just become a member of the company and get it for 50% off for yourself. So that's step number two, right? Use the product, know the product, share the product, learn the stories. And I want to ask you all a huge favor. Please, please, please send them to me. Send me all of your testimonies. And I'm going to give you my email. My email is very simple. Is Dave's email address at yahoo.com. Believe it or not, that is my email address. Dave's email address at yahoo.com. Address is spelled ADRS. ADRS. So it's Dave's email address at yahoo.com. Please share with me all your videos, if you can, of the different stories of people that have had, testimonials with the product. All you have to do is get your phone, point it at them, and then just click record on your camera. And you want to record a video of the person. Even if that person is not dressed up and if they haven't put on their makeup, it doesn't matter. This is not a beauty contest. Just film them right away and tell them, can I have your permission to record you? Because I want to have this, this testimony for some people that may be dealing with what you're dealing with. Of course, a lot of people say yes. So you just click record, and as they're talking, don't make it weird. Just keep it nice and low and record the person, and make sure you're close enough so you can hear their voice. And then once that video is done, the first thing you want to do is go to your email, whether it's Gmail or Google or Yahoo, whatever, and then just send it to me. Dave's email address at yahoo.com. Address is spelled ADRS. And then, of course, I'll get it, and then we'll be able to share it with others, because then we're going to create a WhatsApp where all of these videos are, and we're going to put names under them. We're going to say, gout, asthma, tumors, fibromyalgia, lupus, cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, and we're gonna have the names right underneath. And then, of course, the people that go into this WhatsApp group, they can actually download them or share it with someone else. And that way, we all have videos of many different people, because you want to share with the person a video, and then, of course, you want to share with them the product. So, step number two, become a product of the product. Very simple. Now, step number three is the one that actually has you build your business. Okay. Step number three is very special, because that's the one where you get to create the foundational base of your business. And, there's a lot to be said for step number three, but I'm going to actually keep it simple, because there's a lot of new people on this call. And then also, there's more things you will learn moving forward into the future. But I do want to say that, our business is called network marketing. Okay. So if you divide it in three, it's net, and then the word work, And then the last word is marketing, with the emphasis on the middle part, which is work. Okay. We have to get to work. All right. It's like the job that we have in our business that we're entering into with Vital Health is actually to do this step, step number three. And this is how we get to build and create our business. We also do step number two all the time, which is being a product of the product all day long. So if I may say to you, you know, you do step number one, at the beginning when you register and you activate and qualify automatically every month because you already brought the people and you made your purchase. So every month is an automatic. But step number four, you have to know it, right? Know how the pay plan works, which is why you're here today. We're going to talk about the pay plan in a minute. But step number three and two are the ones that build your business because I want you to know this. All we do in this business is two things. We recruit and we sell. Okay? And then of course, about a month ago, we had a conversation about recruiting, and we talked about how to recruit. That was actually a really good one. I recorded it, and everybody loved it. But anyway, we recruit and sell. That's all we do. Imagine step number two is we sell. Imagine step number three is we recruit. All we do is recruit and sell, recruit and sell, recruit and sell, recruit and sell, recruit and sell all day long, every day. We're either bringing someone into the business or we're selling product to somebody. That's all we do, and that's the work. Okay, so what is our industry is network marketing industry, and what we do is work at recruiting and selling. That is it. Now you can do this from home, so technically this is your home-based business, which is network marketing in the network marketing industry for a company called Vital Health, in which all you do is recruit and sell, recruit and sell. And of course, there's a method and a madness to all of this as well, right? How to sell the product. We talked a little bit about that right now. And then, of course, how do you recruit people? So it's your own business, it's your side business, if we can call it that. So if you're on this call and you're brand new, let me tell you that, the very first thing we talked about is defining your why. There's some of you that are on this call because your why looks like this. Your why is you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of getting up every morning and every single day and every week and making the same money, working at the same place, not getting ahead, not getting any extra, paying a lot of money every year in taxes and not keeping as much as you want, and spending every single month every bit of money that you have and all your bills and not being able to keep something extra for yourself to do something that you want, and you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired of that. If you can identify with me with what I just said, that could be your why. Well, guess what? You now have a business which can get you out of that condition. You now have a home-based business. You have a side job, a side business that you just created by trying these products. And all you have to do is maintain an active purchase every month of a minimum of 50 points or 100. And you know what? Just coming to all these calls and follow us. Just coming to all these calls and learn how to do the business, learn how to do this training, and then bring people in. You don't even have to do anything much other than invite. I would just like for you to become a professional inviter. Invite as many people as you can. Become a professional inviter. Your very first 2, 3 months, just invite, invite, invite. Become a professional at bringing people into this conversation. Wednesdays for the presentation. Wednesday, join your business. Thursday for the training. Just invite. That's all you really have to do. And this is your business. Now we get to do the work for you. I'm doing it right now. If you had new people here with you, then I'm doing the work for you and training your new people. So in your network marketing business in which you're working from home, you're treating it as a side business or a side job, you actually have to remember this is like a job. It's your job though. So you hired yourself as a job in your new network marketing business, and you are now the president of your business, you're the vice president, and you're also the worker. You're everything all at once. Okay. And now, as a network marketing person, right, you're going to go to work on a daily basis. And then instead of going to a job in which you trade hours for money, now you're going to trade time for security. I'm going to repeat that. Instead of trading like when you go to a job, hours for money, because that's all you do. They pay you $20 an hour, $15 an
15.
hour, $18 an hour. You're trading time for dollars, right? Every hour. If you don't go to work, you don't get paid. If you don't go to work, you might get fired, right? Now you get to trade uh, time for security. You give your business some time. You give your
Hello.
business the time that is required, and then you're going to have security because you're going to be able to build a monthly residual income that's second to none. A monthly residual income that can give you a security that you have never, ever, ever, seen before. As a matter of fact, you know what? I have had people work with me in which, in no time at all, within 6 months to a year, they started to make $5,000, $10,000 a month. There's one particular lady that I can remember. She started with me in the very beginning in another business, and she was making $5,000 a week. She came up to me one day and she was crying. And I said, "What's the matter? What's wrong?" Because I was really sad for her. I said, "What happened?" She said in Spanish, she said, "Mijo." Mijo means my son. She said, "No, mijo." She says, "I am so happy." She said, I just got a check for $5,000. She says, "I don't know what I'm going to do with all this money." And I was like, "Oh my God." My tears came down running in my eyes. I said, "You got to be kidding me." She said, "I have never made $5,000 a week. This is the first time I make $5,000 a week." She said, what do I do with this money?" I said, "Go put it in your bank." What kind of a question is that? I said, "Go put that money in your bank." It was such a great feeling for me to have this lady come up to me and tell me, "I've only been here for 9 months and I'm making $5,000 a week." It happens. It's like that. And all you have to do is put to practice what I'm teaching you. And this is very simple. This is very simple and duplicatable. Everybody can do this. So it's your job, it's your business. You're the president, you're the vice president. Now all you have to do is just go to work. And you got to go to work on a daily basis for you. This is for you to make money. Except that now you have a job or a business with a purpose for a reason, right? With a goal. Let me repeat that. You now have a job that you're going to do for yourself, right? Because you're the boss, but you have it now. It's now with a purpose. It's for a reason and with a goal to help as many people as possible and to assist as many people as you know to get them to try these products so they can help themselves. Guys, I got to tell you, there's a lot of people out there suffering from many different issues, right? Not for nothing. And I don't want to talk about bad about our country, our government. I don't want to talk bad about our medical system. I don't want to talk bad about the FDA or nothing like that. Okay. No conspiracy theories here. I just want to say that our food has changed. And we're not talking like yesterday. Our foods have changed about 30 to 40 years ago because in 1950, 1960, and 1970, if you look at the pictures on the internet of the people in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, everybody looks thin. Guys, I'm not kidding you. Look up pictures of 1950s, 1960s, and 1970s. Look at all the people in different pictures that you'd see. And I'm not talking about actors. I'm talking about regular people. Look at business, Disneyland pictures, Magic Mountain pictures. Look at pictures of all the theme parks and things of where people were back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Everybody looks thin. What happened after 70s and 80s is crazy. The majority of the people today look overweight. Something happened to our food. And because of that, now a lot of us are dealing with issues in our bodies. Number one. Number two, the population is getting older. Or better yet, the largest population segment in the world is now getting older. And I'm one of those people. It's called the baby boom generation. Is families of 10, 15, 20, 25 kids to one mother. That's how many kids people had back in the, 60s and 50s and 40s and 70s. Today, people have one or they have two kids, sometimes three, in many cases four. but they don't have the 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 15 kids like they used to. But those kids that were born to 15, 16, 20 siblings today are older than 55 and 60. So what happens is the food has changed. People are getting, bigger and fatter with all these, bad food that we're eating that has so many different kinds of additives and colorings and different kinds of pesticides and things that are in it that are making our bodies have illness because every day we cannot process all that. So we're just getting ill. So there's a lot of people that we can work with out there, which we can help because now we have a business of our own with a purpose, okay, for a reason, with a goal to help and assist others to help them become a healthier human being. And because you have this business now, you can make money. Because what you will do is you will just share with them the story. Like I said earlier, facts tell, stories sell. Share with them the story of someone else that's dealing with what they're dealing with and let them know that this product can work for them as well. And then just offer them the opportunity so they can either buy it independently or buy it in a pack. It's that simple. Okay. But you must begin today. Build your business. In the beginning, it's embarrassing. It's kind of like when you go to, a dance. You remember when you all were younger and you went out dancing and you were to a dance either in school or in your very first club that you were taken to? Anyway, when you got there, you felt awkward because people were dancing and you knew that you liked the song and you had to get out there and dance. The very first one is awkward and it feels weird and different and people are watching you and you're moving around and it just feels weird. But then when you dance that second song, it becomes easier. That third song, you're not even thinking about it. After a while, you're just dancing the rest of the night, because you're used to it and you like it and you're enjoying it and you're having a good time. You know, but you got to start sometime, right? So for many of us, that's the way the business is. You got to get out there as quickly as possible and build it right away. Start today. Start right now. Start tomorrow, right? Build it every single day. Build your business every day, and you're going to make a difference, right, in your own life. Kind of like a job, because if you have a job, you have to go to work every day. Kind of like a job, because if you have a job, you have to go and make sure your boss sees you and your boss knows that you came and you showed up, and of course, you're doing something. Except now, guess what? You're the boss. You're your own boss. You have your own home-based business. You have your own side business in your house in which you get to make a difference for you. The only problem is sometimes, we tend to not do things that we're supposed to because it's for us and there's nobody else watching. But that's a different training. And believe me, the day we talk about that one, a lot of people are going to cry because we need to start being responsible for ourselves. But anyway, let me just move forward here. This is a type of business that you're going to really make a difference on with a lot of people. And you just got to start it immediately. Start today. Okay. So step number 3 is very simple. You want to actually create a contact list and you want to create it as big as possible and you want to build your team off of that list. And it isn't really like rocket science. It's actually very simple. You want to basically create 3 types of lists off of the information that you have either on your telephone or on a little black book somewhere. A lot of people actually have a little black book or they have a place where they actually store information of people that they know. A lot of people have maybe like a sheet of paper where they write down names and phone numbers. Some people that I know used to have a Rolodex or they just kept business cards of many people and friends that they knew. And when they do that, that basically gives them the opportunity where in the future they can call upon that person. Doesn't matter how you do it. The majority of the people today, though, they have a phone, and on their phone, they have a contacts. So the way you create your team in the beginning is like this. You want to create a list of everybody that you know in 3 different categories. The first one is called the hot market. Those are the people that you know. Those are the people that love you, that will do anything for you, and almost immediately they'll say yes to whatever you say. Now, that really depends because this week I was in Colombia And I was actually shocked to learn when somebody said to me, you know what? I always listen to your presentation and training, and I heard that you say that we need to go after our hot market and the people that are in our family. And then I called them and they all said no. You know, I did not respond, that gentleman. I did not respond because that is true. That is true. But that doesn't say nothing about my training, though. It really does not, because the training stays the same. Guys, go to For Your Hot Market. Talk to all the people that you know that are close to you, that love you, that will do anything for you. In my case, that was my mom and my sister. And both my mom and my sister have now passed away. But whenever I said to them, "Hey, I'm gonna get started in this business and I want to get you guys involved," they would say, "Do it. Just do it. Take my name and number information, whatever you want. Just do it. We'll support you." That's a hot market. Now, that gentleman that said that to me, if some of you have the same experience where the people that you know, the people that are close to you, are going to tell you no, that's a totally different training as well. And for that one, I need 2 days because you and I need to sit down and talk about that. When you have a hot market of people that, you know, love you dearly and, do anything for you, but then they say no to you, sometimes we just have to clean things up. We just have to clean up with them. But we're not going to get into that. But that's the hot market. The hot market is the very, very close, 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 close family members that you can talk to right away. So what you want to do is you want to put on the line, right, an expert. Who is an expert? In this point, it could be anybody. It could be the person that invited you. It can be the person that invited them, or it can be the person that invited them. It doesn't matter who it is, as long as you get someone else on the line. Because you see, the people that you know, they know you. There's a lot of familiarity between you and them. But the third person that you get on the line to invite them, there's respect. And the respect that they have for that third person is going to open up a space of conversation that's unique. So that person can say to them, "Hi, how are you? You know what? Susie actually told me about you, Mike, and I really wanted to meet you. I asked Susie, does she know anybody that's really good, that wants to get ahead, that wants to make money, and that likes to help people? And then she thought about you right away, Mike, and she said, I want to put him on the line, and I'm glad to meet you. My company is looking for people like you." So Mike, with respect, because he doesn't know, the expert, he'll say, "Oh, thank you. Thank you for thinking about me like that. Well, nice to meet you. And what is this about?" "Well, we have an opportunity that I'd like you to check out. We have a presentation regarding our company who's actually in your area, and this company is growing really fast. And by the way, you're going to be able to make some pretty good money. What I would like you to do is, can you come into the Zoom call on a Wednesday so that you can listen to this and let me know what you think about it. Let me know if this is for you." That's it. That's all we do. Then, of course, Mike can say to that third person, "Oh, yes, I'm interested." Or he can say, "Well, you know what? I don't have time on that day. When else can I do this?" Or you guys can schedule a time where you guys can go visit Mike personally and do it in his home, or Mike can come to your home, or any other way. But you got an appointment with this new person because when they get to hear about the opportunity, Mike might know someone that already does this kind of business. Mike might know someone that's already, suffering from some kind of an illness that he can offer these products to. Mike might know someone that's a top leader of a different company. You just never know. So that's how this works. You want to make a contact list of all the people in your hot market because if Mike is actually Susie's brother and he'll do anything for her, this lady can say, "Mike, you know what? We're really interested in working with you. Susie gave me your number, and you know what? We really want to get started with you right away. When can we actually do this?" He might say, "You know what? I don't even have to go to your presentation. Just sign me up. Whatever it is, I'll do it for Susie." Done. Now you got one. And then you go down your list and you talk to the next person. Now you got two. Then you go down your list and you talk to the next person. Now you got three. That's basically how easy this can be. But you have to do the work of at least looking at your phone and writing down who is in your hot market and making sure that you write this down. When you use a third person, right, you always want to say, you know, let's say Susie's the one inviting Mike, she's the one on the bottom, and then the third person is on top, all right? And let's say her name is Sally. Well, Sally can always say, you know, Mike, I talked to Susie and I asked her, does she know anyone that wants to get ahead, that would like to make some extra money, somebody that really wants to do something in life and wants to actually just, be great in life and helping other people. And then when you say things like that, that person is going to feel really good that someone thought of them like that. Don't just start the call and say, "Hi, how are you?" So Mike, so tell me, what do you do, and what have you been up to? And don't start with conversations like that, because you need to make at least 10, 20, 30 calls. And believe me, if you start your conversation the way that I just said it with Mike, Mike is actually already impressed by the fact that you guys think highly of him, and his listening is completely open to what you're asking for. And then you have to have a piece of paper and pencil ready and say, Wednesday presentation, first one, Mike. Wednesday presentation number two, my cousin Jane, and you got to just keep going down the line, writing all these people, because now you have on Wednesday, Mike, Jane, Scott, Mike, Jerry, all these names on a piece of paper of everybody you invited for Wednesday. That's basically how this works. Now, on Tuesday, you want to call the people and you want to say, "Hi, remember me?" Yes. Okay. Well, I want to make sure that you remember that we have a meeting tomorrow Wednesday, and then of course that person would remember and they'll come into your Zoom presentation. That's how easy this is. The warm market is just those people that but they don't really like love you tremendously and they'll do anything for you, but they're just warm to you. They know who you are. And then, of course, the cold market is the list of people that you can get off of your phone. Those people that are cold, they're like, they don't really know you that well, but they're in your phone because you've had interaction with them at some time. It doesn't matter. You want to talk to everyone. And you always want to use a third person because that third person can actually make a real difference in your call. And your call can be successful as long as you guys keep it short and sweet and also to the point and make sure that you're there to make invitations. And by the way, a lot of people are really looking for something to do or some extra side hustle or some extra business. If you find someone in your list that has the experience, that has already done this industry, that has been a leader of the industry, that has been a leader of a company, that knows many, many people, by all means, please talk to the people that are above you, talk to the people that invited them and that invited them, and look for a top leader in your organization and have them speak to that person. In some cases of the people that are on this call, you might look up and you might find some very special person named Marie Pierre. She's Coach Marie. She's got all the experience in the world and she can talk to that person and she'll help you make sure that person gets the information and gets the invitation for that weekly presentation. Or you might find Coach Alex, or you might find Yang Morales, right? And if you keep looking, you'll find me. I'll be there to make sure to help you. Either way, you got to find somebody that can help you because that would be considered what someone might call a big fish, someone that knows a lot of people, and that person can really make a huge difference in your organization. And that's the purpose of your list. Your list is the one that helps you build your business, and you're actually recruiting from this list those folks that are going to be your business partners, those folks that are going to be in your team that you're going to create a huge team with, that you're all going to work together. And then you and them are going to work with all of us, and we're all going to help each other become successful moving forward into this business. That's how simple we keep it. And it actually works because all of us contribute, everybody listens, we all share, and everybody provides information. And then things just keep growing from there. So you want to make sure that you invite them to the next training, the next presentation. Always use the expert. Always make sure that you know what days are the presentations. We have presentations in English, Spanish, Creole, Tagalog, and Portuguese. We have presentations in French, in different languages. Pretty soon, we're going to have in different African languages of the different countries in Africa that we're going to open up. And a lot of you that are on this call that are from those countries, such as Cameroon, Ghana, South Africa, Nigeria, you're going to have to step up and learn what I'm doing and learn the presentation so that you can help us be the person that does those presentations in that language. It's in Ghana, Benny, Sister Cecilia, you guys are going to have to find people and yourselves also to learn so that we can also provide in the language, of the countrymen, the presentation and the training. Send them to the videos. That's why our testimonial videos are important. Please send me the testimonial videos to my email, Dave's email address at yahoo.com. Address is spelled ADRS, and then I can actually post those videos for all of us to use. And if that person doesn't speak English, please, by all means, put it in the language that they speak. Because if you have somebody that's speaking in Ghananese, and then of course, we have somebody from Ghana that wants to hear a video and it's in their language, that'll be great because I'll put it in the my WhatsApp group called the World Alliance, Vital Health World Alliance, and then it'll be in that language, and then we have some in Spanish, and then we have some in English, and then we have some in French, and then we have some in so then people can see that they can go there for these videos. Okay, so that's important. And then, of course, you want to make sure you introduce them to your leaders, the people that are above, so that way they can actually become associated with them. And that's pretty much it with step number three, because step number three is the key. That's the one that creates and builds your business. When you do step number three, that's the one that helps you grow your business and helps you actually get what you need to get, which is as much money as possible by growing. Step number two also, it helps you sell the product and bring product into people's homes, and that way you can actually make monthly money, which is called a residual income. So you will build a residual income in this company when everybody's purchasing every single month, all their products, right? And you need to just continue to do the business, right? And then, of course, continue earning money every month when they make their purchases. And then, of course, you will make the upfront money. That means the weekly money from all the new people that are coming in. So on number three, that's for the new people and the new packs. The number two is of all the purchases that are done weekly, but also monthly. So there's a reason for both these two and three to be done every single day because those two generate the income. Now, let's learn how to get paid. We're going to go off of hopefully this presentation here um, will be enough for us to learn. Okay, so there is qualifications in the pay plan. Okay, and I want you guys to get this because this is going to be very simple for you to understand. There's a lot of companies that are out there doing what's called network marketing, right? Affiliate marketing, associate marketing, however they want to call it, it doesn't matter. But there's a lot of companies. And I've been in a few, and some of them have some really cuckoo crazy qualifications. I mean, you have to jump through hoops and do gymnastics to make money in some of these companies. And it's ridiculous because they expect for people to do this, and do this. And if you do this and it's a Wednesday, you qualify, but if you did it on Thursday, you don't qualify. So, I mean, it's like weird. And you can tell right away it's designed to keep the money away from the people. And then whenever you find companies like that, just walk away because, you know, you will not win. You will always try to make money and you're not going to be in a position of winning because they're making it harder and harder and harder. You got to find a company that has very low qualifications because you can tell right there that that company is not so much interested in keeping you from the money. They're more interested in helping you at the money. It'll show you right now what I'm talking about. So this company has a very, very low qualification schema, and I really like it because if you see the bottom here of each one of these positions, these are the qualifications that are required. That is it. That is it. Number one, you got to be active with your purchase every single month. I already talked about that. And every month that you're active with your purchase, your position is active to make money. And you got to be qualified, which means you got to have at least two people, right? Remember I said that earlier? That's it. That's number one. Now, to become a bronze, okay, this is the very first position. You don't need two people. You need three people. So to become a bronze, you need three people. It says right here, three active agents, three, okay? When you become a bronze, that means you don't have two, you have three. So three is the qualification for bronze. Now, you got to have a minimum of 50 personal volume points. PV means personal volume. So here's where the 50 points comes in, right? So You got to have three people and you got to have your own purchase of 50 points personal. Okay. Now, you got to have 1,000 group volume, GV, that's what it's called. 1,000 group volume in points below you. Now, what does that mean? By the way, that is it. That's all the qualification this company has. It's it. It's so simple. To become a bronze, which is this position here, when you achieve that position, the company will pay you 220, not actually $100 in product. This is an old slide. This doesn't say how much they'll pay you. This basically says what the average income is. But when you become a bronze, okay, you actually have to have 1,000 group volume points among those three people and yourself. What does that look like? Very simple. Let's say you put one person on the left and two people on the right. The one person on the left purchased the pack that's 170. The two people on the right purchased the pack that is one of them purchased the $600 pack and one purchased the $300 pack. So you have a $600 pack, a $300 pack, and the 170, right? That's a total of 1,070 points. You see how that is? So you have three people, you put one on the left and two on the right. The one on the left bought the 170. The two on the right, one bought a $600 pack and one bought a $300 pack. All together, that's 1,070. Why? Because when you actually buy a pack, the company gives you dollar for points. So the total count of the pack on that month that those packs were purchased on that month, um, the 600 is 600 points, the 300 is 300 points, the 170 is 170 points. That's a total of 1,070 points. So you just went over by 70. So you have 1,070 points. You have group volume of 1,070. You qualify. Three people, you got one on the left, two on the right, you qualified. Now, it says here that 30% of that volume, right, can come from one leg and 70% of that volume can come from the other. So in this case, you have one person about 170 on one side and the rest came from the other. You're fine. You qualified. Okay, so that's 30/70. So you have 50 points in purchase volume yourself. In other words, you actually either just joined, if it's your second month, you already made your 50-point purchase minimum. So now you qualify and you are a bronze. That is simple. That is it. That's how easy this company makes it. There is no other qualifications for you to advance. You are now bronze. To become a silver, which is the next position, to become a silver, all you have to do is continue to have the same three people, except this month now you want to have 2,500 group volume points. Okay? Which means that those three people are now going to provide you 2,500 points, right, below them. What does that mean? Well, that means that you brought three people and you didn't bring any more. The previous month already passed, so now this month they get to work. Now, those three people can do what you did, also get three people and have 1,070 points, right? Because they brought three people also as well, which would actually make it, if they each have 1,070, just like you, it would actually make it 3,210 points, so you actually have more than 2,005. If these three people did exactly what you did, there would be 3,210 points, because you came in and you brought three people, and those three people fed you 1,070. But if those three people that you brought did the same thing, they each brought three and they each have the same number of points, which is 1,070, that totals up to 3,210, which is more than 2,500. So if they did the same thing you did, you are now qualified as a bronze because you have the same three people personal. They are still active because they have their own monthly purchase. This is the following month. They have their own monthly purchase. Okay. Now, in this particular case, the qualification goes up a little bit for you because to be silver, you have to have 100 points in personal volume. That means that your 50 point purchase last month was good for you, but now that you're bronze, now that you're silver, you got to step it up to 100 points. So you should have 100 points minimum purchase. If not, you're not going to be silver. So to qualify as silver, you got to have a 100 points purchase. So this is good for you to know because this is when I tell everybody. I always advise my leaders, please, when you come into this business, buy a pack. Preferably buy the big one because the big pack, the elite pack, that one gives you all the benefits and it gives you all the money that you're going to need to make in this company. Okay, so if you buy the big pack, you have all the product that you need and it has a bunch of benefits and you have all, the position as elite and all that stuff. Also, if you're going to be in my team as a leader, please get the 100 points the following month, every month, because you will be qualified to the last position forever. And then on top of that, make sure that your purchase is on automatic, meaning to say your purchase is set up so that you can have an automatic purchase through a subscription every month so you don't skip a beat. So that means that they have a 100 point purchase month after month after month. It's automatic. So let me show you. This is the next position. It requires 100 points. This is the next position. It requires 100 points. This is the next position. It requires 100 points. This is the next position. It requires 100 points, 100 points, 100 points, 100 points. 100 points are required all the way to the last position. So if you want to maintain an active status and be able to grow to the last position of the company, I always tell my leaders, just buy 100 points. Don't dilly-dally with this. When you come in, just get the elite pack, the big one. You have as much product as you need, and you're set up for success. And of course, I always tell them too, and I want to just share this with you. A lot of you are new. You just got started, so this doesn't apply to you. But I always tell my leaders, hey, don't get three, go get 10. Because if you have 10, you'll be opened up to qualify for the last position on the company. Now all you need is the volume, you see. Now all you need is all those people that you have and you yourself personally, all you need is to just produce the volume below them. On this silver position is 2,500 group volume below the three. Okay. The next position is called sapphire. Okay. And this sapphire position, just so you can see it right there, this sapphire position requires the same three people that you personally brought, the 100 points, but 5,000 group volume points below them, below the three, which means that the three brought three, that's 9, and those 9 probably brought 3 too. You see what I mean? So now it's the people below them and the people below them and the people below them that are doing something. So every month you stay active with your 100 points, but everybody help everybody so they can bring in whoever they have that's new. And don't stop. Just keep bringing. So I always tell my leaders, go get 10, which means that the person that started here as bronze and brought 3 people right here probably brought those 3, but has one more. Okay. And now that person is opened up to become gold because the requirement of the position called gold, this is the gold position. This person, someone can make about 1,500 a week or 1,500 a month. As a gold, you get a car bonus also. As a gold, you would actually qualify, with 10,000 group volume points below the 4 people. So you started with 3, but now you got a fourth. That fourth qualifies you to be gold, and your same 100 point purchase qualifies you to be gold. Now you just need to help your 4 or the 3 plus the new one and everybody else below them bring in some new people. And of course, there's 10,000 points below your team. And this is a really good point. It doesn't matter how much you do on a monthly basis. As you can tell, you have three personals all the way to Sapphire. You didn't bring anybody new. You did your monthly purchase, but you didn't bring anybody new. You're just helping other people. Here also, you have four. Where do you find those 10,000 points? Helping other people. You see what I mean? And those people are helping other people, and those people are helping other people. So the job, better yet, the work is distributed and divided among everybody. And I'm here to help you and serve you by doing this presentation and training every week on Wednesday and Thursday, so it keeps a load off of you. And by the way, when you have your four people and there's 10,000 points below you, you are now a car bonus qualified person as a gold. And as a gold, and you stay as a gold, every month you'll get a $500 check, right? Just for being a gold car bonus qualified. So the next position is actually called, um, I believe this one is platinum. And as platinum, you can see the weekly or monthly check goes up. As platinum, you actually get you get to help everybody bring in 17,500 group volume points. And of course, you have now a requirement, not four, but five personals. So you got to go after one more person. And then if you have five, you can now be platinum. The same 100 point purchase that's set up automatic every month qualifies you as platinum. And then the next position is actually the emerald position. As an emerald, okay, you actually need 25,000 group volume points and five personals. The same five people you brought here are good for this position too. And the same 100 monthly purchase points are also helping you to be emerald. And by the way, 25,000 group volume points in a month looks like a lot. But what if you look at it like this? You help your five become gold. As long as below each one of these golds, which is this position here, as long as these golds, right? These people that are gold, you help five people, no, actually less. Two people become gold. If two become gold, that's 20,000 points. If five people that are just started in your team become a sapphire, which is a little position, that's 5,000 points. Five times five is 25. If you help five people below you become sapphire, which is the little position, the third one, you just became um, emerald. So you have five people that you helped, become, the small position, now you are emerald. That's how easy this is. You help others become something, you become something bigger. Now, in this one here, which is the diamond position, it's a 50,000 point group volume, but you need six people, right? And then you need the same 100 points. So you bring one more person. So you have now six personals. But then you say, how do I get 50,000 group volume points? It's easy. You help two people become emerald. 25,000 and 25,000 is 50. Okay, that seems a little bit too hard. Okay, then you help five people become gold. Of all the people that are below you, remember three brought three, or four brought four, whatever that is. If you help five people below you become gold, below them is going to be 10,000 points. That's why they became gold. So if you help five people in your team become gold, now you are a diamond. So diamond is 50,000 points. 5 times 10 is 50, right? So now you get that big bonus check, right? And then, of course, you're now a diamond and you have six personals and you still have your same 100 point purchase every month. Now you become a double diamond when you have 100,000 points because now you need the same 100 monthly points that you purchase, but you got to have seven people. And by the way, to become a double diamond, that just means you got to help two people that you have become a diamond, but you can also get 10 people become a gold. 10 people become gold, the small gold position. Look below you and see who's there. And if you find 10 people that are willing to get to work and you tell them, I want to help you become gold, 10 people become gold. That's 10,000 points times 10. That's 100,000 points. You just became a double diamond. That's how easy this is. This is a company that has the easiest requirements for advancements that I have ever seen. I mean, I haven't seen anything easier than this. Now, here's the triple diamond position. Of course, you got to have eight active agents, eight personals, right? And then, of course, 100 PV, the same 100 monthly purchase. But now the requirement goes up to 200,000 points. Well, what's 200,000 points? Very easy. Two people that you can help become double diamond, or four people that you can help become diamond, or eight people that you can help become, I think this is emerald. Yes, emerald. Eight people that you can help become emerald. Or, I could just go on and on, or 20 people that become gold below you. In other words, it's not about you. It's not about me. It's about the people that are below us. How many can we help come up to a smaller position? Because this guy that needs to become gold, to for him to have 10,000 points, he has to have at least, four people, become silver. So if you want to become gold, you got to have four silvers. So you got to go help that guy that needs to become gold because you got to have 10 golds, right? Well, now you got to go and help those people below them get to silver. Because if four people become silver, that person is gold. So now you have a happy four silvers and you have 10 happy, golds, which means that now you are a double diamond. So that's the way this company actually did it. And it's so simple and refreshing because I got to tell you, I've been in other companies and they make you jump through hoops to actually to actually climb up, in their company and get to different positions. It's just cuckoo crazy, you know. But the pay plan is very simple. The pay plan says go get yourself a membership. And of course, you guys know that memberships can be free. Once you get the membership, you can buy products and you can buy the products independently. If you do that, you're going to spend too much money. So you're better off just getting a pack. That's why the packs are so important because buying products independently, it costs you more money. If you buy a pack, you get a whole lot more product in a pack. So it's easier for a person to say, yeah, you know what? I'll take that $300 pack because I get more product than if I just bought these products one by one. Or I'll get the pro pack because this way I can help my sister and my cousin that lives with me and I don't have to, get something for them. I can just have them share with me. Or I'll just get the platinum pack because I'm ready to start this business and get to work. I'm ready to begin my own home-based business and I want to get the elite pack. That elite pack is going to help me a lot. It has a lot of products. So basically that's how that works, and then once the people know that that's what happens, then you teach them, listen, every month, you got to make your purchase a minimum of 150 points or a maximum of 100, okay? Every month. Now, when you've been with the company from 2 to 4 months, you're going to get what's called a loyalty bonus. That's part of the pay plan. The loyalty bonus gives you 10% in future purchases as a discount so that you can buy more product. But if you make this purchase every month between the first and the seventh day of the month, you get an extra 5%, which means you get 15 instead of 10. If you make this purchase between, when you're here from 5 to 8 months, between the first and the seventh day of the month, you get 25% instead of 20. If you're with us for more than 9 months, then of course you get 35% instead of 30. So depending on the number of months you've been with the company, make sure that your purchase is always done between the first day and the seventh day of the month. Today is the fourth. Tomorrow is the fifth. That's when my purchases are done automatically by the computer system. Every fifth, I have my purchases go through. So I qualify for an extra 5%. So guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. Do not leave money on the table. Make sure you get your extra 5% and you pull that out every single month, or you just let it sit there and accumulate like I do. And one day you go in there and make a huge, gigantic purchase. And of course, use all that product for your business. So that's how the loyalty bonus works. The influencer bonus is very simple. The influencer bonus basically has you make extra money when you're selling the product because when you join the business, and of course, when you buy any pack that is not the elite pack, the big one, if you if you get the 600
Mhm.
pack or the 300 pack, right? Any of those packs are only going to give you access to actually have as an elite as a
Se
I'm
yon
sorry,
doktor maman dene
as a
non maladi.
as an influencer bonus, you got to have 200 point purchase in a month. In other words, if you purchase 200 points, you can get 200 more points for $40, which is an extra 80% discount. That is huge. So when you actually get an influencer bonus with 200 points, right? You actually can buy 200 more points for $40. That's an equivalent of $270 to $300 in product. That company will give it to you at $40. That is an influencer bonus. It's been designed in the beginning for people that are influencers, which means that if you have something on the internet like a show, you can introduce yourself, have people buy from you here at Vital Health in your virtual store. And when they do, every 200 points, you will receive this discount and you will get products at $5, which means that you make the difference, of I think it's 50 or 45 bucks every single time people buy from you. The influencer bonus is huge. You can also buy the influencer bonus yourself all the time without a problem. Now, there's also what's called a first order bonus. And you know what? I want to get out of here for a minute because I want to actually show you guys something that's really, really important. Um, next, I'm next from April. Okay. I want to show you guys something really quick. Uh, the influencer bonus. Um, I'm so sorry here, actually. I'm almost done, by the way, guys. I don't want you people to okay, hold on one second. Let me stop this. Okay, I want to show you something that'll help us go faster. Okay. Okay, so we go open and we say English presentation. Okay, here we go. It'll help it go faster. All right, so we have different presentations because the company has added more products. And of course, with the more products, they had to reconfigure the presentation. They made new colors and all that stuff. But this is the influencer bonus right here. So when you buy something from the company, you get it at 550. You sell it for 55 and you make 49.50. So you get a bigger discount when you actually sell products that you purchased with your influencer bonus. Or if the people go into your purchase portal into your store, actually, they will get it at the regular price, but you got it at 550. So the company gives you the difference of 49.50. Now, remember that I said that if you're an elite pack holder, one of the benefits is that you get also, 10 codes to give to people so they can become a member for free. That's one of the benefits of being an elite pack holder. The second benefit of being an elite pack holder is that you get to give people codes so they can get a 25% discount from your store. So if you send them to your store, instead of buying it at 55, they'll buy it at 55 minus the 25% discount. Okay. But the company will still pay you the 49.50. That was discussed this last couple of days. That's huge. So in the interest of actually saving time, we're going to leave that for later, but that's actually huge. We also get the loyalty bonus when you make your monthly purchase. I already talked about that. This is all pay plan, by the way. You also get paid when you sell a pack. So the first pack is 170, you get paid 33.75. The second pack is 300, you get paid 67.50. The third pack is 600, you get paid 135 when somebody buys that third pack. When somebody buys the Elite Pack, which is the one that's geared for business and to have a home-based business, the Elite Pack, you get paid 270. So I always tell people at this point that if you actually got busy and you took this seriously and you sold just Elite Packs every week, if you did 10 Elite Packs a month, you made $2,700 a month. And that's just on this particular payout alone. There's 8 payouts in the company. And I also want to show you this. Each one of these packs has a price, and let's just call it double. The Elite pack is 1,200. This says 600. The Pro pack is 600. The Builder pack is 300, and the Basic pack is 170. So the way this works is the company divides in half the amount of 1,200, and then they multiply 600 times 45%, they give you 270. They multiply 300 times 45%, they give you 135. That's how it works. They multiply 150 times 45%, and you get 6750. So basically, the other 600 points, because it's a $1,200 pack, goes to the binary bonus. Okay. It's called the two-team bonus or the binary bonus. We have to build a left team and a right team, and the people that we bring have to build a left team and a right team. And then the people that they bring have to build a left team and right team. So everybody starts populating the left and the right. When volume appears every single week, Monday through Friday, you get paid what's on your left or right, but you get paid off the smaller leg. In this case, 9,000 is less than 10,000. So you get paid off of 9,000, 15% commission, which means 1,350. Now, how do you how do you get to 15%? Very simple. Bronze pays you 10, silver pays you 12, gold pays you 13, platinum pays you 15. Remember the positions that I just showed you? That's the platinum. Diamond gives you 20. You remember the diamond position? That gives you 20% commission every single week. So it means more money. But even if you're just bronze, you just got started, 10% is actually 900 bucks a week if you have this volume. This is an example. This particular payout, which is called the binary bonus, gives you up to 25,000 weekly in payout every single week. And if you did it in a month, if you maxed it out, that means you got 100,000. If the month has 5 weeks, that means you got 125,000. So that's how this particular bonus pays. The next one is called the Rising Star Bonus. This was opened up for the United States so that we can actually make more money if we know people. So if you have somebody that knows a lot of people and they bring three right away, they get paid 12% commission immediately. If they bring four right away, they get 13% commission. If you know like a really big expert, someone that's done this before and just knows a lot of people, if they bring six like today or within the hour, they'll be qualified for 15% commission. So they don't have to wait to become platinum. They can get 15% immediately. There's also a matching bonus. The matching bonus is of all the personal people that you bring. You remember we talked about you have to have two personal and then three, four, five, 10, whatever you want. Well, I always tell people go after 10 as fast as possible. But if you help them make money and you help them achieve a position, they're going to make money. And when they make money, guess what? This company pays you a matching bonus, which means you get paid half of what they got paid. They get what they get, but you get paid half of what they got. So in this particular example, there's five people below you. They made $5,000. The company will give you a check of 2,500 on this example, on that week. And then it starts again next week. And when they get to work and they make a check, next week you get another check. And then when they get to work and make a check, the following week you get another check. So every week you're helping people, every week you're making an extra check, half of what they made. We also have the luxury car bonus. The luxury car bonus gives you $500 towards the purchase of your car because people have car payments here. And the only way you get that is if you qualify for the gold position. Remember we showed you the positions a little while ago? And gold, by the way, is the fourth position of the company. So you just have to get to gold, and now you're qualified to earn the $500 every month for the purchase of your car. But what if your car's paid or you don't have a car? You can elect to receive that money in product, but you don't get 500. You get $800 worth of product every single month. And it's a huge box of a lot of product. I love this bonus. I use it every month to get product extra so that I can take to everybody that I know when I do my presentations outside and meetings. I take product with me everywhere I go. So I need product. Now, I'm going to say this one more time. This is a very unique company. The qualifications are very simple, but also this giveaway of products, this is very unique. In most companies you go work for, they make you buy product and you have to buy a lot of it so you can do your business. Here, you get it for free. Just qualify for gold and you'll get $800 worth of product to do your business. You don't have to buy it. And then, of course, you get paid a rank advancement bonus. Every time you advance in rank, you get paid for advancing. I showed you the qualifications earlier, which are on the bottom. I'm not going to go through that, but I just want to say that when you become bronze, you get 100. When you become silver, you get 200. When you become sapphire, you get 250 in product. When you become gold, you get 500 a month, or you get product, whatever you choose, but every single month. So this is not a $500 bonus. This is a $6,000 a year bonus in at 500 a month. If you're getting it for your car, you just have to qualify as gold and stay as a gold qualified. And every month you'll be able to get your car. What I suggest to people is if you're going for the car bonus, do it right away, but then become emerald. Because if you drop from emerald to platinum, you're still getting your car bonus. If you drop from platinum to gold, you're still getting your car bonus. If you drop from gold to sapphire, you'll stop getting a car bonus. But if you go back up to gold the following month, they'll give it to you again. So it's just the months that you don't qualify as gold, you just won't get it. So you want to make sure that you know that when you go to platinum, you get 500 in cash. When you go to emerald, you get 1,000, diamond 2,005, double diamond 5,000, triple diamond 7,005. So every time you move up in the position, you get another check on that month for qualifying for that new position. And that's actually very nice. This is just an average income that the company shows, but I always tell everybody this is on the low, 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 but it's also could be someone's, monthly, or it could be someone's weekly. It just depends on how much you're doing and how fast you're working. I teach people to go fast and hard. That's why you probably heard right now I'm pushing everybody to do as much as possible so that you can actually double up these numbers. Now, there has been people in the company that has started since the beginning in Mexico, and most of them are making right now between 79,000 and 189,000. We already have people in the US reporting 70 and $80,000 incomes and $90,000 incomes from California and Texas. Um, and then this is the last payout. It's called the monthly residual. This is the one that you get every single month for the perpetual habitual purchases of all your team. Everybody that comes into the business is required to make a monthly purchase of 50 points or 100 points every month. Remember what I said earlier. I always tell my leaders, buy your 100 points and go after 10 people, right? This is what I tell all my leaders because I want everybody to be successful. So on your first level, you're going to get paid 10% commission for all the purchases of those people. On your second level, which is their first, you get 10% commission for all their purchases. On your third level, which is their first, your third level, you get paid 20% on all their purchases. And then from the fourth level to infinity, meaning to say, from the fourth level to all the different levels that will come after that, you'll get between 2 and 14% commission. And the way that works is very simple. Whatever position you land in that month, that's what you get. So if you become a diamond, you get 8%. If you become a double diamond, you get 10. If you become a triple diamond, you get 12. That's how it works. If somebody catches up to you as a diamond, you get 8%. Well, they caught up to you, so now they get 8%, you get 2. When someone else catches up to you as a diamond, they get 8%, you get 1. So you always continuously continue to get paid on all your teams. They just now take over. That's why it's actually important for you to know that you need to advance, 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 advance so that you can always be making more. Because now as a triple diamond, you get 12. From a red diamond all the way to a black diamond, you get 14% commission to infinity. So it is a huge, huge payout. Now, the difference is this. This is actually a residual monthly income, which is what you all should be working for, where you should build it once, right? And get paid for it over and over and over again. This is something very special. You did the work, you did the job, you signed up, you joined, you came to listen to all these presentations and trainings, you started working, you brought the people, and they came in, and then they brought more people, and they came in, they brought more people. Now you have an organization. Every month, the entire organization buys. Every month, everybody makes money when everybody purchases. And because you brought the people that are below you, you make the bigger check. That's basically the way it works because you were the first. So now you have a perpetual habitual purchase by everyone, which means you have a monthly income coming in that is called a passive income or a residual income. So whether you'd say one day, I'm not going to go to work this month because I'm going to Aruba, I'm going to Africa, I'm going to France, and you take a month off, the company will pay you for all the people in your team without even being here. That is true freedom. That's what the potential of this company is. That is why we do this business, is for the residual. So imagine you in your first level bring 10 people and then each have 100-point purchase. That means there's 1,000 points on that first level of purchases, which means that times 10%, you get $100. Now, those 10 people bring 10 people, that's 100 people on your second level. You remember I told you, everybody got to go get 10. On your second level, those 100 people they all buy 100 points. Those those become 10,000 points on that second level. You make $1,000 because they pay you 10% commission, you see? Now, those 100 people bring 10 each. That's 1,000 people on your third level. That means to say you have now everybody buying 100 points. That's 100,000 points on your third level at 20% commission. That's $20,000. So in essence, you made 20,000 plus one plus 100. So that's $21,100. This could have happened in 6 months. This could have happened in 3 months. This could have happened in 1 year. But really, the question is, how does your life look like with $21,000 a month just on one check alone? And this is a guaranteed check because it's based on everybody's perpetual habitual purchases. It's a guaranteed monthly check of $21,000. How does your life look like 2 years from now and you're making 21,000? How does your life look like 1 year from now and you're making 21,000 every month, no matter what? And you get to go to Mexico for a month and travel, or you get to go to whatever country you want. You come back and your business is still there because next month you're going to make it again. That's the power of this business. And that's what we have going on. It's a very simple thing. It's a very, very, very simple thing. It's easy, it's duplicatable, it's for all of you. I'm just happy and honored to be the one that's teaching it to you. And just to let everybody know, my camera broke in Colombia last week, so I cannot use my camera. My new one arrives tomorrow on Amazon, and I'll have it in the morning. But you get to see this beautiful picture of me, and that's it. But you know what? I'm honored to be here. I'm happy that I can show you guys the reason why I chose this company, and it is the pay plan. For me, it's 100%. And of course, the product, right? The product is awesome. If the product works and the company pays well, you found the right spot. And hopefully, with what I just showed you, you're able to understand the pay plan a little better, and of course, the qualifications, and of course, what you need to do. So we're going to do a little recap. Number one, make sure you bought the big pack because that one gives you the most benefits, especially now when you get those 10 free memberships for your future people and the 10 few free discounts for your future buyers. And of course, there's more benefits if you're in other countries. You want to have your elite pack. Secondly, you want to make sure every month after that, you set yourself up for your automatic purchase of 100 points. So that way you stay qualified from the beginning. And no matter what happens, you qualified for anything that comes at you. You can be whatever position as long as there's volume there. Thirdly, don't stay with two people. Don't stay with two people. Two is the minimum qualifying. Go after as many as you can. Every week, grow by one or two. Populate this meeting every Wednesday with your people every single week. I would love it if one of you every week brought me 50 guests and one of you signed them all up every single week. And every week, this particular group, because we have many different Zooms going on. Every week, this particular group grows by 50 and it's all yours. I would love to see that because I know what that check looks like in 3 months. I would be so happy for you. It would be awesome. Use me, use these trainings, use the Wednesday presentations, use the Spanish ones. We advertise in our WhatsApp all the different meetings in Espanol and in English with the ones that we have, which is the Vitalhealth World Alliance. We also advertise in the Spanish. We also advertise in the WhatsApp for Coach Marie with the Elite. So you get to bring people, use all of us, use Coach Alex, use Mr. Yam, Coach Yam, Coach Marie. and then bring your people there. Let us do the work for you so that you can populate your teams, and then let us help you teach them, and then you learn along the way because you want to take over soon, within the next 6 months to a year, you want to take over. You want to start flying to Ghana. You want to start flying to Cameroon. You want to start flying to South America, Central America. We have a lady here with us right now who just came into the business. She flew to El Salvador last week. Her name is Miss Selma Oloa. She's right here with us right now. Selma's building El Salvador, but she lives here in California and she has teams everywhere. So we're going to be working with her. I'm committing to her to be in El Salvador soon. And she's got to call me and tell me I'm going to go over there. You guys got to do the same thing. The folks out there in Miami, same thing. Build your area, work with all the people that you know, and then, learn this so that you can actually take over and teach them what you just learned from us right now. And then work with different teams, work with different communities, work with your churches, work with your community groups, work with the different medical facilities. I have doctors that I go see in Colombia. My doctors are bringing me more doctors, and the doctors basically are adding our products to their protocol for their clients. And it's amazing for me to go there and see him say, you need this V daily, you need this glutathione. Well, how much is it? Don't worry about it. I'm going to just send you the bill. It's part of what I'm doing for you. And the people say, okay, because the doctor told them they needed it. So, work with the medical community, work with, the Diabetes Association, the Heart Association, work with the Autism Association, get creative, go all out and do whatever you can to build your business in every single corner of whatever you have access to. But then the easiest way to do this is go talk to people that have already done this business. Go talk to people that have done Mary Kay, Avon, Amway, Herbalife, Jafra, Shackley, Princess House, Gano XL, Gano Life, Gano Gold, TLC, Atome. I mean, gone down the line, there's all these other service companies, prepaid legal, insurance companies. Go talk to people that do taxes. Those people have everybody in the city that they know because they've done taxes for everybody. They know who makes money. They know who doesn't make money. They know who needs a job. The tax people know who makes a lot of money and needs to hide it in a home-based business. And this home-based business is actually legal and it's also tax deductible. So they know those people that need those deductions. Guys, get creative. Get out there and talk to everybody you know and let them know what's going on because this thing's about to blow up. And you just don't want to be that person that joined it right now and then you're the one that's just so slow that's still thinking about doing something, because 6, 7 months from now, you have some brand new kids on the block that are going to come in and just run with it. And when they do, they're going to be the ones called on stage because they became gold or they became diamond and they became this and they became that. And you're going to say to yourself, you know what? I saw this back in January of 2025 or 2026, and I'm still trying to find out how to do it. Don't be that person. Just do it. Do it tomorrow. Start tonight. Don't be left behind. Just get out there and do it. And if you need any one of us, all the leadership that's here, all the people that are up above as well, we will all be there to help and assist in any way possible that we can. So I thank you. I thank you all very much for listening to this. To me, like I said, this is special. I'm honored to be here with you and to teach you this. I just wish you could be in person, but there's too many of you all over the place. So I'm glad it's on Zoom. But thank you. Thank you all for your attention. Thank you for being here. I love you. I honor you. I respect you. And I hope that anything that you just heard and learned today was of good for you and that you actually enjoyed it and you're going to be able to use it. So if anybody has a question, go ahead and open up your mute buttons and please go ahead and ask the question. We have one hand up or no, that's just a thumbs up. Anybody has a question, you can put your hand up or just turn on your mics and just ask me your question, whatever it may be. Go ahead, Richard. Jean, Natilis.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you so much. We always appreciate the thing you do every week for us to make sure you give us the background that we need to do the business. Your support is always appreciated, and all other coaches that assist you every week. It's a dedication. We appreciate that. We can tell you that. We can see that all the people around you. We thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gene. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All righty. Great, great, great. Okay. Any more questions? Does anybody have any questions regarding the pay plan? Okay. Looks like everybody's complete. Oh, we have one question up there. We have one hand up. Is that you again, Gene?
Oh, I put my hand down.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Good, good, good. Well, if nobody has any more questions, we can go ahead and end the call so that way you guys can enjoy your evening. I know it's late where you're at. It's probably already like 8 or 9 p.m., maybe more, maybe 10. But I really do appreciate it. Thank you for listening to this. This is important. I know a lot of people have been asking about pay plan and pay plan qualifications, and I'm glad you got it tonight. So I really appreciate you guys for this. And if you guys want to, go ahead and open up your mics and let's just say goodnight to each other. And we'll see each other next week on Wednesday's presentation. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good
Good
evening.
night. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night.
Thank you
Good
everyone
night.
for
Good night,
participating.
coaches.
Yes.
Good
Good night, Jane.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good
Hey,
night.
Zuki.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good night.
My guy
Bye,
from
everyone. Thank
Connecticut.
you.
Recording stopped.
All righty.
We
Thank
love you
you all.
guys.
Yeah.
Good
We
night.
love you too.
Thank you from Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. All right.
Miss
God bless. Thank
Mary,
you.
Coach Winner Gabriel, Coach Joseph,
Coach Nautilus.
Coach Nini.